Morning guys, so we're down at LC Plant's garage in Castleford and we've got this 2019 Scania road sweeper Johnson body with a JCB 444 Eco Max in it. We've got a fault with the injectors, intermittent fault on number 2 and 3 reported, and we've also got an unknown fault code which is coming up now and again. So let's jump on the Service Master, let's see what we can find with it and go from there. So we're on with Service Master 4 and we have one stored code, P062E-11, injector bank 1 short to ground, and 11 times it's occurred on the count. So if you'll injector, I think I already know what the fault code is just by looking at it, and it's so easy to start saying, right, let's put 4 injectors in it, let's put a harness on it, let's do things that are unnecessary. But I do believe the fault is actually in the engine ECU, and it looks like it's going to be the injector driver that's at fault. The driver in the ECU is what sort of feeds your injectors with the pulse width and the signal, you know, to go off your back of your crank trigger. I've seen this before on different ECUs with a similar fault where the injector driver goes down. Now when they get that bad, they just won't start either. Let's dive a bit deeper. We think we might have a, like I say, an old control unit here that we can test on the truck, make sure everything's running good, and it's actually from the customer when we rebuilt the engine a few months ago. So let's dive a bit deeper, let's go on the engine, make sure there's nothing stupid, and we'll go from there. Right, so we're here on top of the engine, and basically we've spoke to the customer a bit further, and we've had a fault on number 2 and number 3. So we're on number 3 here at the moment, and this injector plug, you can't really see it. See if I can get a better angle. This injector plug is not snug at all. Same with number 2. This one is very loose as well. The video's not great, but number 1, this one, and number 4, these are really tight, really snug onto the injector. So the wiring harness on these JCBs basically just hugs around the injector, the plug. So we'll get these 2 and 3 off and just see if we can tighten this connection up just a touch. So this is number 2 and number 3, and if you look in here, you see the pins that are very far apart. Inside the injector there's 2 posts what these pins wrap around, and this plug was very loose. So what we're going to try and do is tighten up these metal tabs that are sticking out on the sides and close this gap up, see if that helps us out and makes any difference. We'll also give it a little bit of contact cleaner, and we've already done the same on number 3. So if you look at these pins here, you'll see the air gap is nearly non-existent now. That's how they should be. And we've also tightened these clips up here, so we'll get these clipped back on and see if they're any better. Right, so they're back on and they are a little bit better, not great, but I'm happy that the gap onto them posts is correct now on 2 and 3. So we're just going to look into that other code, and I think that's coming off the engine ECM, which is here. Now these are prone for dropping drivers, these Delphi ECUs. So let's get this thing unbolted. We'll go and have a look to see if we've got a spare unit to throw on there. Yeah, it's only a 4-bolt fixing, a very common ECU on the sweeper. So let's go see what we've got. Right, so we've found it, we've tracked it down. So this is the spare ECU that came with all this goodness, and this is the block from the customer. You might be able to see in there, there's no Ringland ran on number 1. You'll probably go again that block, to be fair, but it's yeah, knocked that piston out of it due to fuel, bit of pre-det or something. Load of other bits for him, so I'll get the guy to come and pick this up. So we're going to put this on, we're going to clean it up a bit, bolt this on and see if it gets rid of our injector driver fault. Right, so we've got the ECU on, the replacement ECU that the customer had in stock, which is dead handy. So that's running okay, no injector driver faults. We've been through it, run it up hot. The pins are closed now on the injector wiring plugs on 2 and 3. It could have just been going open circuit intermittently with a vibration of the engine. I mean, these things will rev, and that could be compressor blower doesn't half blow under that engine hood there, so any loose wiring it's going to find straight away. These are pretty bad, they suffer pretty badly on looms, to be fair. You've got to re-loom one every few years, that's what we've found out. There's an oil cooler leak. The hydraulic oil cooler on the donkey, which is just in front of the radiator, is leaking as well. So we're going to address that to the customer, make sure he's aware. Don't want any scary surprises that he's not aware of. These guys have got their own mechanics who handle the main amount of the repairs and servicing on these trucks. But anything diagnostic, the engine diagnostic wise, electronic wise, they come to us. So, which I'm glad they have, because it's quite a difficult fault to realise if you've not seen it before. So we'll get this one buttoned up, get the coolant topped up just from a bit of a bad clip on the engine there, and see you on the next one.